Safe Work Australia reported in 2013 that 12% of all falls from height in the workplace are from heavy vehicles. For the period 2009 to 2011, it was the equivalent of 3 injuries requiring at least 1 week of recovery being recorded each day. Falls from trucks can result in fatal or serious trauma, for instance fractures or abdominal hernias. A major triggering factor for falling from heights is the wrong footing, such as a slip or a trip or a misstep. Collectively, these account for 27% of falls. Descending from the cab of a heavy vehicle has been identified to be particularly problematic. A driver's physical condition determines to a large extent the injury risk associated with certain tasks, such as cleaning the cabin, vehicle maintenance, checking a load, or simply entering or exiting the cabin. Changes in balance, coordination, and reaction times are part of the normal aging process. But for heavy vehicle drivers, this also represents a higher risk of falling when climbing in or out of the truck. A survey of 359 companies in the United States identified that driver perception of falls from trucks as being low risk is a significant barrier in the prevention of fall injuries. It's also well known that fatigue affects driving, and it's important to know that it can also be a contributing factor in falling from a truck.
How are falls high risk for heavy vehicle drivers?
Complacency, I guess. Climbing in and out of a truck, God knows how many times a day. For us, we're not allowed to get on the back of our trucks, but other industries, I suppose they are. It's just complacency is just, you're just so used to it, you don't realise that you might jump in, you've got your phone in your hand, you go to grab with one hand, that slips, you haven't got a second. It's too late, you don't want to break your phone, they're going back. Weather. I actually tore muscle off my ribs by falling out of a truck. Because I had riggers gloves, wet riggers gloves, climbed up in a hurry, both hands slipped, both hands slipped.
Most trucks are from a fair height up, so it doesn't, if you're not coming down the stairs like you should be. Like we're big in size. I know I'm big in size. If I was to jump out the truck, I'm going to blow a knee because I'm so heavy. So I have to come down the stairs properly with the 3-point contact.
And what's proper? Can you walk us through?
Well, you make sure it's true. On our trucks, you've obviously got 2 handles, and then your 1 foot on the step, and then the next foot down, then you're off. Not just turn around, whiz out the jump out the door, and then land on the ground.
How do you stay safe when getting in and out of a truck?
Just take my time. You're not in a rush. And don't have anything in your hands either. Like, keep your hands empty. If you've got a coffee, put it on the floor till you get up. And put it in the coffee holder. I don't drink coffee, so that's never my problem. But it's usually when you get your best paper from the weighbridge, I put it on the seat, get the truck, and do whatever they do with it. That's just, yeah. But I just think that sort of just makes sense to me. If you've got something in your hands and you're trying to get in and out of the truck, you're bound to just hurt yourself.
Just be confident you've got a good grip on the handles climbing in and out, making sure your steps are clean. Cabin's clean. I guess you could trip on something when you're climbing in. I've been in trucks, worked for companies where they don't care. They just had no pride and no maintenance, nothing. There's drink bottles everywhere. Just have your mind on the job, concentrating. You know what I mean? I guess it's just, I can't explain it. I'm not good explaining stuff. I could show you how to climb into a truck, but it's just basically, 2 hands and your feet. So you got 2 hands and you got 1 foot on it at a time. So every time you lift a foot, that's your 3 points of contact. I guess that's the best way to explain it.
As a driver, what can you do to minimise risk? Understand that risk. Tripping or slipping when ascending into or descending from the truck can result in major trauma. Get a good grip. Avoid carrying objects. For example, having a phone or a coffee in your hand when climbing in or out of the vehicle. And make sure your hands are free of substances, for example, creams or oils that can prevent you from getting a good grip. Keep your area clean. Substances, especially liquids, can make surfaces slippery inside and outside the vehicle. In such situations, standing or grabbing firmly can be difficult, which increases the risk of a fall. When in doubt, ask for help. Use the proper equipment and procedures. Be mindful of external conditions and avoid excessive climbing in or out of the vehicle. And use 3 points of contact. When getting into or out of the truck cab, always keep 3 points of contact to further reduce your injury risk. Wear slip-resistant footwear. Maintain a balanced posture. Ensure steps have a consistent distance and tread. Park in well-lit areas with an even landing surface. Install lights in steps for visibility. And don't jump.
How are falls high risk for heavy vehicle drivers?
Well, they're going backwards. They're going to conk their head quite easily. They're one of the common things that I've seen is a driver will have his lunch bag. He might have a jacket or something in his hand, and he's trying to put it all in himself and all of that into the truck at the same time. Whereas I've also stepped guys through, right, open the truck door, put your stuff on the floor of the truck, climb up, grab your stuff, put it on the seat, move up a bit further, then when you're in there, move your stuff over to the passenger seat or onto the console. But I see guys juggling with a handful of stuff and they're going out backwards and you lose grip and that's it. You're in the fate of gravity at the time. Look, your 3 points of contact's vital. It's quite an underrated, I think, element to safety from the driver's point of view. You're in and out of a truck probably 12, 20 times a day, depending what their business is, and there's a little bit of desensitisation with it. I just tend to think that it's probably underrated, very underrated. 3 points of contact. Don't try and juggle items in your hand and getting in and out of a truck. If you have to, put your item on the floor. 3 points. Move your item, the console, while maintaining 3 points. Complete your entry. Okay, same with getting out. You're getting out, 3 points of contact. Move your object to the floor of the truck. Complete your exit and move your product.
There are a number of steps that can be taken to reduce risk in the workplace. With vehicle specifications and accessories, ensure that footholds and handholds are not only present, but that they're easy to see, even in dark conditions. And make sure that they're at a suitable height and position, that they're non-slip and well maintained. Have a clear and effective risk identification process. Work together with your staff to identify and assess risk, discuss the options to prevent or mitigate that risk, and develop an action plan that's reviewed regularly. Consider reducing the number of tasks that require a driver to climb in and out of their vehicle during a shift, and provide regular training sessions about 3 points of contact, risk mitigation strategies, and the equipment that's suitable for different activities.